In a world where most food comes from store shelves and plastic packages, there's a growing movement to reconnect with the land, to understand the true origins of our meals. This is more than just hunting. It's about a deep, ancient connection to the earth and the life it sustains. Welcome to the From Field to Table experience. At its core, this journey is about respect for the animals, the environment, and the food we share with our loved ones. Here we don't just hunt, we learn, we appreciate, and we give thanks for what nature provides. The hunt itself is an age-old ritual, passed down through generations. It's a test of skill, patience, and understanding of the natural world. But this is just the beginning. After the hunt, the real work begins. Under the guidance of seasoned experts, participants learn how to field dress and butcher their harvest, transforming what they've taken from the field into cuts of meat ready for the kitchen. This isn't just about processing game, it's about respecting the animal by using every part, ensuring nothing goes to waste. From here, we move into the kitchen, where chefs lead hands-on cooking sessions. This is where the magic happens, where raw ingredients are transformed into dishes that nourish both body and soul. Participants don't just learn recipes, they gain an understanding of how to bring out the best flavors in wild game, how to pair it with seasonal ingredients, and how to present it beautifully on the plate. And finally, we gather around the table where the journey comes full circle. The food we eat has a story of hard work, respect, and a deep connection to the land. This is what From Field to Table is all about. It's more than just a meal, it's an experience, a memory, a tradition.
To assume that your understanding of the world around you, the way that you participate in it, is via a grocery store is a huge disconnect. A huge disconnect from the sanctity of life, that went into that product that gives you life as well. It's a maybe a fact of existing of life that people don't want to really focus on. But other things must give up their life for us to enjoy ours. And if that's going to be the natural law, then I think it's really important to do so in a way that actually celebrates these ideas, celebrates the fact that we are part of a larger system and a larger beauty that is nature. My thoughts about hunting prior to having come and had this experience weren't too terribly far off, but there were certain cultural aspects that I think that I really didn't understand. For example, how little we waste, if any. And then how we take each piece or muscle group or what have you, and really accentuate the best qualities out of it. These are all passive ways, or active ways really, in which we honor the life of what we're consuming, and that's just where it starts. So that for me has been really kind of hammered in to a degree that I don't think I could have experienced without having done something like this, and it's something that I hope to be able to bring into my life regularly.
Even when it comes to like hunting and wild game, I didn't really grow up on it. I kind of was like, that doesn't really taste very good. But this whole experience here has taught me a lot about how to prepare it to make it actually not taste like wild game. So just knowing that I can take things that we do, and my husband and his family have been huge hunters, and I will say some of our stuff turns out good and some of it is not so good. So I think we both have taken home a lot of tips and tricks that we can use every single day in our lives. And unfortunately, our industry or our lifestyles and how our food gets into a grocery store has changed. It's not the same as it used to be when my grandma and grandpa were alive. They took it from the field to the table. There wasn't all this processed sugar and foods boxed up that could sit on your counter for forever and never rot. So knowing what's in your food and how it affects your body is super important to me in raising my family. And So that has been part of kind of how I changed our whole way of looking at food.
So for me, I got into firearms before I got into hunting, and I was, doing reloading, collecting rifles, and taking it to the range, and just kind of punching paper felt not entirely satisfying. It felt like the purpose that these things had been created for was to go out and harvest game, and they weren't really fulfilling their purpose. So that was kind of one of the things that really sparked my interest. And then the other aspect of it was I really like understanding processes. I like knowing how to do things, whether it's car maintenance or working with a computer or, even something like woodworking. Like I want to know how to do it from start to finish so that if I make the decision not to do it, I feel comfortable. I could have done this if I had to, and I know what I'm paying for to get out of the work. And I think that for this, you can go, at least I can go to the store and I can get like elk steak at one of the grocery stores we live at, but that completely divorces me from understanding how all of that happens, being out in these areas and seeing how they're browsing, like what their habitat is, and like the whole process of bringing in the animal, breaking it down. And that's, I think, what From Field to Table really gives you, is if you want to really understand every aspect of how game meat is sourced and each step along the way. And then in the future, maybe I don't always feel like breaking down the animal and I take it to a processor, but at least I know that I know how to do it. At least I know that if I needed to do it, I would have that skill set.
In the end, From Field to Table is more than just an event. It's a journey back to our roots, a reconnection with the earth, and a celebration of the food that sustains us. Whether you're a seasoned hunter or new to the field, this experience is one that will forever change the way you see your food and the world around you. Join us and rediscover the true meaning of food, family, and the great outdoors.